It's 10 p.m. and you're exhausted. You've just finished scrolling through your phone for the last hour. Your eyes are heavy, your body is screaming for sleep, but right now, in this exact moment, your body is making a decision that will determine whether you wake up leaner or fatter tomorrow morning. Most people have no idea this decision is even happening. They think fat loss is about what you eat for breakfast or how hard you train at the gym. But here's the truth nobody talks about. The most powerful fat-burning window of your entire day doesn't happen when you're awake. It happens when you're asleep. Specifically, it happens between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. This is your body's nightly metabolic reset window, and what you do in the 60 minutes before you fall asleep will either activate this fat-burning state or completely shut it down for the entire night. You could eat clean all day, you could avoid sugar, you could skip dinner entirely, and your body will still pack on belly fat while you sleep if you violate this one nighttime principle. You could eat nothing but grilled chicken and steamed broccoli all day, every day. You could avoid sugar like it's poison, and your body would still pack on belly fat while you sleep if you violate this one nighttime principle. You could skip dinner entirely, go to bed with your stomach growling, and your body would still hold on to fat because the problem isn't how much you eat, it's when and how your biology decides to burn it. This isn't about starvation, and it isn't about suffering. In fact, if you feel like you're starving, your body actually fights against fat loss. It's about understanding one biological switch that most people accidentally keep turned off. One single hormone controls this whole process: growth hormone. It's the master regulator of fat burning, muscle repair, and cellular renewal, and it only does its job at night, during deep sleep. Specifically, I'm talking about the nocturnal growth hormone pulse. This is a massive surge of growth hormone that your pituitary gland releases about 90 minutes after you fall into deep sleep. It's the main event, and most people accidentally destroy this pulse every single night. They do something in the hours before bed that tells their pituitary gland do not release growth hormone, and they have no idea they're doing it. Here's what most people don't understand. Your fat cells aren't just passive storage bins. They are active, living endocrine organs. They are constantly listening for hormonal signals, deciding what to do with the energy they hold. They decide moment by moment, based on your hormone levels, whether to release energy to be burned or to lock it away forever. Most people's fat cells are getting the lock it away signal all night long. Inside each fat cell, there's a specific structure called the beta-adrenergic receptor. Think of it as a tiny docking station on the cell's surface. When the right hormone docks here, it unlocks the fat cell's door. Think of that receptor as your body's fat release switch. When growth hormone docks onto it, it's like flipping the switch to on. Your fat cells open up, and triglycerides break down into free fatty acids to be burned for energy. During deep sleep, your pituitary gland floods your system with growth hormone. This is the single biggest metabolic event of your entire night. That growth hormone finds the beta-adrenergic receptors on your fat cells. It activates them like a key turning a lock. The fat cell door swings open. Inside that fat cell, stored triglycerides, which are three fatty acids linked together, break apart. They split into individual free fatty acids ready for use. Those free fatty acids now pour out of the fat cell and into your bloodstream. They're like fuel leaving the storage tank, ready to be delivered to your muscles and organs. Your body then burns these fatty acids for energy while you're completely unconscious. Your heart beats, your lungs breathe, your cells work, all fueled by your own stored fat. You wake up lighter in the morning without having done a single thing. No exercise, no dieting. Your own biology did the work for you, all night long. But here's the problem. Growth hormone and insulin are mortal enemies. They are locked in a biochemical tug-of-war inside your body every single night. These two hormones simply cannot be high at the same time. They are like a seesaw. When one goes up, the other must come down. They cannot coexist. When insulin rises, your pituitary gland detects it and shuts down growth hormone production completely. The fat-burning signal never gets sent, the switch stays off, and right now, most people are spiking their insulin right before bed without even realizing it. That harmless-looking late-night snack is a biochemical shutdown signal. That late-night snack you reach for at 9 p.m. isn't just a small comfort. It's a biochemical shutdown signal, telling your body to store fat instead of burn it. Picture eating something small at 9 p.m. even something healthy like a handful of almonds or a banana, your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas, a small organ behind your stomach, immediately releases insulin to bring it back down. Even fruit, which feels harmless, still spikes your insulin. Your body treats sugar from an apple the same way it treats sugar from candy. You climb into bed at 10 p.m. with insulin still high in your bloodstream. Your body drifts into the first stage of sleep. Your breathing slows. Your muscles relax. Meanwhile, your pituitary gland, the brain's master hormone gland, is watching. It sits right at the base of your brain, waiting for the right signal. It scans your bloodstream, checking your insulin level. It's like a security guard at a gate, checking for the right ID. It detects insulin and refuses to release growth hormone. The security guard sees the wrong ID and slams the gate shut. The unlock signal to your fat cells never goes out. They stay locked, holding onto their stored energy all night long. For the next 8 hours, your body stays in storage mode. Your fat cells lock down tight. They refuse to release any energy at all. You wake up in the morning, and that stubborn belly fat is still there. It hasn't budged an inch, even though you barely ate yesterday. This is not because you lack willpower. It is not because you are lazy. Those old explanations are wrong. Your biology simply never got the signal to burn it. The command never reached your fat cells. They stayed locked all night. But what if, instead of blocking your body's natural cycle, you sent the right signal? What if you gave it exactly what it needs? What if you amplified your fat-burning cycle instead of blocking it? The difference is just one hormonal switch. A nighttime protocol can reprogram your metabolic night shift. It turns your sleep into a fat-burning engine. This system can work even if you hate exercise entirely. No gym, no running, no sweating required. Even if you've tried and failed every diet before. This is not another diet. It is a timing system. And this works even if you believe your metabolism is simply broken. Because it is not broken. It is just waiting for the right signal. Once you see this mechanism clearly, willpower becomes almost irrelevant. You stop fighting your body and start working with it. Growth hormone doesn't trickle out steadily. It fires in distinct pulses, like a heartbeat for your metabolism. The largest pulse arrives roughly 90 minutes after you sink into deep sleep. This is your body's primary fat-burning event. During this window, your body burns fat more aggressively than at any other time of day. It's like a metabolic furnace turning on automatically. But this nightly release depends on 3 very specific conditions. Think of them as 3 switches that all need to be flipped to on. Condition 1, your insulin must be low. Insulin and growth hormone are biochemical enemies. They cannot coexist. Condition 2, you need true deep sleep, specifically slow-wave sleep. That's the only stage where the pituitary gland gets the signal to release. Condition 3, your digestive system needs to be empty, not actively processing food. A busy gut sends a don't releases signal to the brain. Break any one of these 3 conditions, and the whole system collapses. Growth hormone stays suppressed, fat burning never starts. And here's the problem. Modern life quietly breaks all 3 conditions at once, every single night, without you even noticing. We eat late into the evening, we stay stressed from the day, and we overstimulate our nervous system right up until the moment our head hits the pillow. But here is the good news. This nightly sabotage, every single one of these mistakes, is completely reversible with the right routine. A well-timed nighttime routine changes 3 things at once, and each one directly unlocks more fat burning while you sleep. First, the routine drops your insulin back down to baseline by giving your digestive system a long enough break before sleep. Second, the same routine deepens the quality of your sleep itself, helping you reach those critical slow-wave stages where the real fat burning occurs. Third, it creates a fasted state that signals safety to your body, not starvation, so your metabolism feels safe enough to release stored fat. Line all 3 of these conditions up, low insulin, deep sleep, and a fasted state, and your growth hormone levels can surge up to 5 times higher than normal, according to research from the National Institute on Aging. This isn't a theory or a wellness trend, it's something that can be measured directly in a lab setting, and the data is clear. So let's move into the protocol itself. Step 1 is what I call the insulin cutoff window, and it is the single most important piece of this entire system. The rule is simple: no food, no calories, no macronutrients of any kind for a minimum of 3 hours before you go to sleep. But here's the rule you need to remember: no food, no calories, no macronutrients for a minimum of 3 hours before you fall asleep. Not 2 hours, not 2.5, 3 hours. When you eat, your insulin rises, and it takes roughly 2 to 3 hours to return to its baseline level. If you fall asleep before that insulin drops, you have already missed the growth hormone pulse for the entire night. Now, many people hear this and think it means they have to go hungry, that they will be miserable and suffering through the night. But that is not what happens. When you stop eating 3 hours before bed, your body does not panic, it actually relaxes. Your digestive system, which has been working all day, quietly shuts itself down for the night. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you that handles rest and repair, switches on instead. Your body stops processing incoming food and starts using stored energy instead. You are not starving. You are simply transitioning between fuel sources, from the food you ate to the fat you are carrying, and that transition, that quiet shift from digestion to fat burning, is exactly what unlocks your body's natural nighttime fat loss. If you go to bed at 10 p.m., your last bite of food needs to be at 7 p.m. sharp. Not 7:15, not 7:30, 7 p.m. exactly. That timing creates a clean insulin window before sleep. Your pituitary gland finally gets its all-clear signal. Growth hormone releases right on cue, and fat burning begins. Step 2 of the protocol: what your final meal contains. Timing alone isn't enough. The meal's makeup matters too. Your last meal cannot spike insulin aggressively. That means no sugar and no processed carbohydrates. No bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes at that final meal. Now here's where the biology gets specific. Carbohydrates trigger the single largest insulin response of any food you can eat. It's not the calories alone, it's the hormonal spike that follows. So if your final meal of the day is carb heavy, your insulin doesn't just spike, it stays elevated for hours afterward. That slow decline means it's still active when your head hits the pillow. In many cases, insulin might not drop back to its baseline until 10 or 11 p.m., long after you've stopped eating. Your body is still processing, still storing, still blocking the fat-burning signal. This means you'd fall asleep with insulin still active in your system. Your body doesn't switch into fat-burning mode, it stays in storage mode all night long. Growth hormone stays suppressed because insulin is still present. The pituitary gland sees that red light and never gives the release signal. Fat burning never even starts. The fix is surprisingly simple. Build your final meal around protein and fat instead of carbohydrates. This changes the entire hormonal picture before you sleep. Picture grilled chicken with olive oil and vegetables. The protein provides steady energy, the fat adds satiety, and the vegetables add fiber without spiking blood sugar. Picture salmon paired with sliced avocado. The healthy fats in both slow digestion and keep insulin low, while the protein supports muscle repair during sleep. Picture eggs with spinach and a little butter. It's a classic combination that delivers protein and fat without the carbohydrate load that triggers insulin. Protein and fat create a stable, gentle blood sugar response. Insulin rises slightly, but never spikes. It returns to baseline within 2 hours, leaving a clean window for growth hormone to do its work. Here's the important part. Your insulin does rise slightly after that protein and fat meal, but never aggressively. No dramatic spike, no alarm bells in your pancreas. It's a gentle, controlled rise that your body handles with ease. And because it never spiked high, it drops back down to baseline within about 2 hours. Your body clears the signal quickly, quietly, and gets ready for the night shift. That 2-hour gap is everything. It's the difference between your body getting the green light for fat burning or staying in storage mode all night. That 1 hour decides whether you wake up leaner or whether you wake up exactly the same. And here's something that surprises most people. You don't actually need to eat less to make this work. You just need to eat smarter. The volume on your plate doesn't shrink if you choose the right foods. A well-composed final meal, built around protein and healthy fat, actually keeps you satisfied. It sends a signal of fullness to your brain that lasts for hours. You don't feel like you're missing anything. Because of that steady feeling, you won't find yourself craving snacks later in the evening, and you won't wake up in the middle of the night with a rumbling stomach, feeling starving. Your body feels stable through the entire night, not deprived, not panicked, not stressed. It's a state of calm energy balance, where your metabolism can work quietly in the background. Now contrast that with the opposite approach. When you try to starve yourself or eat a tiny, unsatisfying dinner, deprivation quietly triggers a rise in cortisol. Your body interprets that lack of fuel as a threat. And here's the problem. Cortisol blocks growth hormone just as effectively as insulin does. It's a different pathway, but the outcome is identical. Your body gets the signal to stop burning fat and hold on to it. That's why the real goal is satiety without spiking insulin. A full, satisfied stomach, but one that sends the right chemical signals. That's the sweet spot. That's where your body finally says, okay, it's safe to burn fat now. Protein and fat deliver exactly that kind of satiety. They keep your blood sugar steady. You feel full without triggering an aggressive insulin spike. Your body stays calm, not deprived. That calm state is exactly what your pituitary gland needs to release growth hormone a few hours later. Step 3 of the protocol, amplifying your sleep depth. This is not about sleeping longer, it is about sleeping deeper. You can spend 9 hours in bed and never get the deep sleep your body needs for fat burning. The goal is to maximize the quality of the sleep you already get. Growth hormone only releases during true deep sleep, not during the light drifting phase when you first close your eyes, not during the dreaming phase either. It is a specific biological event that only happens when your brain waves slow down to their lowest frequency. Not light sleep, and not REM sleep either. Light sleep is when you are easily woken up. REM sleep is when you dream. Both are important, but neither triggers the growth hormone pulse. Only the deepest stage of sleep, the stage most people skip, activates fat burning, specifically stages 3 and 4, known as slow wave sleep. This is the phase where your brain produces delta waves, the slowest electrical activity your brain can generate. It is also the hardest phase to reach if your environment or habits are working against you. Here your brain waves slow and body temperature drops. Your heart rate decreases. Your muscles relax completely. Your body enters a repair state. This is the moment your pituitary gland checks your bloodstream one more time. If insulin is low, it releases growth hormone. This is the exact moment your pituitary gland activates. It sits at the base of your brain, about the size of a pea. Despite its tiny size, it controls your entire hormonal system. When it fires, growth hormone floods your bloodstream and travels directly to your fat cells. Never reach deep sleep, and growth hormone never releases. This is not an exaggeration, it is a biological fact. Without deep sleep, your pituitary gland does not get the signal. Your fat cells stay locked. You spend the entire night in storage mode instead of burning mode. Most people wreck their deep sleep without ever realizing it. They think they are resting, but their brain never slows down enough to enter slow wave sleep. The result is a night of tossing and turning that feels like rest but does nothing for fat burning. The single biggest destroyer of deep sleep is blue light. It comes from screens, phones, tablets, and even some energy-efficient light bulbs. Blue light hits your retina and tricks your brain into thinking it is still daytime. Your body stops producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. Now, the biggest destroyer of deep sleep is blue light. Screens before bed flood your eyes with blue wavelengths. That light hits your retina and sends a signal straight to your suprachiasmatic nucleus. That's the part of your brain running your circadian rhythm, your internal 24-hour clock. Blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, even at 10 p.m. Your brain responds by suppressing melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Melatonin is what initiates sleep and helps you drop into deep sleep stages where growth hormone releases. Without enough melatonin, you stay stuck in light sleep. You never reach the deep stages needed for fat burning. You toss and turn all night. You wake up feeling unrested, and that stubborn fat stays locked away, and the growth hormone pulse, the signal that unlocks your fat cells, never arrives. The system stays off all night. Here's the complete nighttime protocol, laid out hour by hour. Follow this sequence, and you align with your biology. 7 p.m. is your final meal, and it's built around protein and fat, with no carbs. Think grilled chicken with olive oil and vegetables, or salmon with avocado. This combination keeps your blood sugar stable and your insulin low, setting the stage for the growth hormone pulse later. By 8 p.m., all food has stopped completely for the night. No snacks, no sips of milk, no tea with honey. Your digestive system is now shutting down, allowing your body to shift from processing food to processing stored energy. This is the clean insulin window you need. At 9 p.m., take a warm, relaxing hot shower. The heat raises your body temperature slightly, and the rapid cooling afterwards signals your brain it's time for sleep. This thermal drop is a powerful trigger for deep sleep, which is the only stage where growth hormone is released. By 9:30, screens are off. No phone, no tablet, no television. The blue light from these devices tells your brain it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin and blocking deep sleep. Instead, pick up a book or sit quietly and meditate. Your brain needs darkness to produce the sleep hormones that unlock fat burning. At 10 p.m., lights are out in a cool room, between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. A lower room temperature helps your body drop its core temperature, which is necessary for entering slow-wave sleep. This is the physical environment that allows your pituitary gland to release growth hormone. At 11:30 p.m., deep sleep begins. Your brain waves slow down, your body temperature drops further, and your pituitary gland releases the first major pulse of growth hormone. This is the moment your fat cells receive the signal to unlock and release stored energy. From midnight to 3 a.m., your body is in its peak fat-burning hours. With insulin low, growth hormone high, and your digestive system empty, your fat cells are actively releasing free fatty acids into your bloodstream. Your body burns this stored energy while you are completely unconscious. At 6:30 a.m., you wake up measurably leaner, not from exercise, not from a strict diet, but because your biology was allowed to do its job all night. The scale may show a small drop, but more importantly, your body composition is shifting. You are losing stored fat, not water or muscle. This protocol requires no exercise and no calorie counting. It is purely about timing and biological alignment. You are not forcing anything, you are simply removing the barriers that block your body's natural fat-burning mechanism. The effort is in the preparation, not the execution. Your body burns fat at night naturally once you stop blocking it. The three conditions, low insulin, deep sleep, and an empty digestive system, are all within your control. Remove the obstacles, and your biology will do the work for you, hour after hour, while you rest. So you remove the late-night eating, the blue light from those screens, and the overheated bedroom that keeps your body from cooling down. And when you do that, fat loss becomes automatic while you're simply sleeping, without you having to do a single thing. This was never about willpower or suffering. It was about aligning your evening habits with the biology your body already has. Most people obsess over their daytime routines, what they eat for breakfast, how many hours they exercise, which diet to follow, but almost nobody pays attention to what happens in their body during the night, the hours when the real metabolic work gets done. Yet the night is exactly when growth hormone does its most powerful work, unlocking fat cells and burning energy while you rest. The 60 minutes before you fall asleep quietly control everything. That small window determines whether your body burns or stores all night long. Starting tonight, you can put this protocol into action. No supplements, no gym, just a few simple timing decisions before bed. Respect that biology, and you unlock your body's natural fat-burning potential, the one that's been there all along, just waiting for the right signal. Tonight, for the first time, your body works while you rest, and you wake up lighter, not because you struggled, but because you finally got out of your own way.